everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome into the Mayo Media Network. I'm Chris Meaney. Thanks for taking the time to hang out. This is Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks. 4 games on the ice today. Really just look forward to Fridays with you guys because I got my guy Cam Stewart hanging by. We're going to break it all down for you. Got some picks, some props, all that good stuff. Maybe we'll take a look at the schedule on the weekend as well. We'll have some fun on this show. So thanks for hanging out with us. But first, it is time for the Prize Picks play of the day. Get a deposit match up to $100 by following the link in the description. Make sure you are subscribed to the Mayo Media Network. Like this video as well. And if you have a Prize Picks play that you like, don't be afraid to leave it in the comment section. We'll have a nice little fun discussion about it afterwards. But I'm looking at 2 players here. One guy that I feel like is just disrespected all the time. It's Jonathan Huberdeau, right? Huberdeau is what they call him in Florida. Yes, Jonathan Huberdeau here. 3 points is the fantasy prop for him. He comes in with 7 goals and 20 points in 14 games, tied for 10th in the NHL in scoring. It seems like nobody talks about this guy. Last year, 78 points in 69 games, tied for 10th. Nobody talked about him. 2 years before that, 92 points in 82 games. I don't know what the deal is. Nobody really talks about Jonathan Huberdeau. He doesn't get the respect in the DFS community in season-long fantasy hockey. I'm feeling him tonight. 3 points. All we need is him to hit the score sheet. He's got 5 points in 4 games against the Wings this season. He comes in with 3 goals, 5 points, and 5 shots over his past 2 games. He's deadly on the power play. He's got 9 power play points so far this season. Detroit, a bottom 5 PK. So if he gets an apple, gets an assist, a couple shots, we're there. We're at the 3 points just like that. Kyle Connor is next here at 3.5. I was looking for an under, guys. I know like a lot of people want some unders, but it's not my jam, especially.
Sorry, we're taking over us, baby. I love Kyle Connor. That guy's so underrated.
Yeah, he really is, Cam. And much like different from Huberdeau, a volume shooter. He's got 8 goals on the season, 16 points in 16 games, 38 goals last year, at least 30 in his first 3 seasons, his first full seasons in the NHL. I don't want to count his rookie season. I think he played 20 games. But yeah, 3 points in his past 2 games, 10 shots on goal over that span. I mean, we'll get into Vancouver in just a little bit, but it looks like they're keeping the puck out of their net, but maybe the Flames can't score, right? The Jets can score. They have a lot of snipers on their team. I love the new line with Stastny, Ehlers, and Connor. Stastny is the setup guy. You look at Vancouver, 5-on-5 per 60 minutes, the most scoring chances allowed, high danger chances allowed, second in goals allowed per 60, and of course, the highest expected goal rate in the NHL. So give me the over on Connor at 3.5 and Huberdeau at 3 points. Let's bring in Cam Stewart. Cam, what's going on, man?
Here's the thing, because you're a humble fella, and I was telling Matt Best, the producer, every night I go on Twitter, I see your picks. I'm like, Meaney's on fire. Over, hit. I got to give you credit, man. And that's the thing. It's hard. Like, for me, I'm an old school guy. Like, I started betting at like the back of a Burger King, giving the money in envelopes. But now betting is like a full-on buffet. You got shots, you got points, you got this first period, like Meaney, it's a different world we're living in. Before it was like, who's going to win the damn game? Like, you know what I mean? Now you're taking advantage of shots because you know this guy, some guys, they just like Ovechkin, rip. Like I take him even like 4.5. Who cares? The guy gets six shots. I'll do it. And I don't play a lot of props, but since I've been doing the show with you, man, your prop picks are good, Matt. I told you I was going to grease Meaney's wheels, and he deserves it because this guy is one of the best I've ever seen for shot props, Meaney. No, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, dude. I wish I rode your picks for like stacks. I could pay my mortgage.
Cam, man, it's crazy to hear that from you because you were honestly part of the reason that I wanted to get into the industry. I mean, you and Gabe at the Score back in the day, and it was awesome for me to sit there and watch you guys give picks. And when the Score first launched, it was the best, man. The best channel. You guys had the best analysts. You guys broke it down. The highlights were like 5 minutes instead of a 30-second highlight pack. Like, it was amazing. man. So just to be able to do this show and hear you say that, like the picks aren't great all the time. We had a rough Tuesday, a rough Wednesday, but it's just nice to be able to bounce back. Yesterday, 6 for 8 on the props. We had Washington, Columbus, St. Louis, the under Mini, the under in Boston. It was a good day, but it doesn't always work out like that, man. Maybe you're just my good luck charm here today. We got 4 games to talk about and some props, man. So hopefully we can make it work. We were joking with Maddie before we got on air here. I mean, some things are just working out, like Austin Matthews best, right?
Oh,
it's
man.
free money every time this guy hits the ice. He's like first goal, 3 straight games.
Hey, Austin Matthews, you put the number up, you take over. It doesn't even matter. It's a blind bet right now. It's a blind bet. This guy's on fire, man. Like I'll tell you, the Leafs, meaning you're a Habs fan. The one thing is I'm a Leafs fan. They're a different team now because they used to screw around and, dicking around with the puck in there. Oh, everything has to be perfect. But the one thing about Matthews now is these guys are like shooting and shooting and shooting. And I think Jumbo Joe Thornton has a big part of that. He's like, listen, guys, stop screwing around. I'm a big guy. We'll set you up. I'll get in front of the net, and it works. Hockey is not a complicated game. You fire pucks at the net. You try to tip a few, it might bounce off your pants, your shoulder, anything else. Like that's the thing. And that's why the Leafs have become a better team. They used to have the skill, but they always tried to be too pretty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The addition of Thornton. I mean, just the playoff experience that he has, just the voice in the room for some of these younger kids in the room is very underrated. But yeah, I think, I don't know. What was he, Matt, on Wednesday? Minus maybe 130 to score a goal. And I tweeted that out that they should bump it up. And somebody had tweeted back, like, it's plus money at my book. It's free money.
If you can find that at plus money anywhere. I mean, over 0.5 power play points was plus money. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's just cash that in real quick. And I do want to say, Cam, you give Meaney a lot of credit. You also nailed the final score over on GTD, 7-3.
Oh yeah, Leaf 7, Ottawa 3.
Hitting 7-3, you nailed that.
I should have bet the exact damn score. I'll tell you something, Meaney. That's great impressive gambling tip because you're the prop king and I'm more like sides and totals. When a worse team plays a good team, especially Ottawa, Montreal, and Toronto. So when Ottawa plays Montreal, say they play a 3-game set, they'll grind for 2. But that third game, it's like they put everything at these guys. That's what I told Morency. I go, the whole world's going to be on Ottawa because these games are close. I go, the Leafs are going to murder these guys tonight because Ottawa, they have great young players, Stützle, all these guys. But you talked about Batherson and all these guys, Meaney. They're going to figure it out real soon. Yeah. But when you play games where you're just working your ass off, you're doing this and that, like I knew that last game, I'm like, the Leafs are going to kill these guys tonight. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes talent beats, work ethic. I hate to say it, but that was the thing. Like, and we have to look at these angles when we're playing these games. Like it's crazy. Like Arizona played St. Louis all those times too. Like, and Brian Blessing, who I do my show with, he's telling me like first game over, second game under, new series, it wins more than it loses.
Adjustments, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the adjustments. 7-3 to call that, dude. You give me props. That's impressive. Like
I don't know what the hell I was doing. I just threw it out there, Meaney. It was a crazy night. Other than the New York Islanders, and they've been good to me. Like who'd you do you have Pittsburgh in that game?
I didn't touch it. You know my rule.
You're smart, man. The problem with me and Morency is when we do our show, we're on for like 3 or 4. Hey guys, you got a pick for the Pittsburgh game? Who do you think about Philadelphia and the Rangers? Like some games are tough, but you almost have to have an opinion on everything, right? I had a good night last night with the Wild was my biggest play, and they got it done after the first COVID loss. I came back to them. That's another thing, Meaney, and you know this. You can't get off teams just because they piss you off one night.
Right.
You got to come back to them. Don't say, oh, they disappointed me. Like, I knew that first game against the Kings. I'm like, against Anaheim, they're going to show up after that performance.
Oh, absolutely. And it works the same way for the props too. I mean, because these guys are doing it 65-70% of the time with the shots on goal. It's the same thing. We had this discussion in the Discord chat over at FTN was the whole Matthews Marner thing. It was mostly Marner because we were on him to have a 2-point game, I think in game 2 of this and the 3-game set, and it didn't work. And then it's like, guys, don't be afraid to go back to this.
Yeah,
like he's
exactly.
getting a point every single night. And he did. He had 3 or 4 points last night. At plus money was 2 points, like plus 180 for a 2-point night for him. So it kind of works the same thing. DeBrincat is a guy, right? Had 0 shots the other night. It's okay to go back to him at 2.5. Like just because he burned you once, like keep in mind that he had 5 straight games where he hit the prop as well. Like
exactly.
And it goes back. So the Islanders, my answer for that is usually, I try not to be cop out, but under. It's like under. It's
you're so right. This team is just an under team. The Rangers kind of the same way. Like the Rangers play a lot of unders too, even though like you wouldn't like at the start of the year when they played Pittsburgh, it was like over. They get rid of D'Angelo. Like they played a lot of unders, except for New Jersey went bananas a couple days ago and beat them 4-2 at a 5.5 total.
Yeah. And Mackenzie Blackwood. I beat the Bruins last night. Mackenzie Blackwood is awesome. The Devils have points they have 5 of 6 points, I guess.
I'm going to tell you, Meaney, I know this is a betting show, but let's just talk about the Devils. What they've done this season, Lindy Ruff is a wicked coach. And awesome. Like, I'm telling you, like that guy gets the best out of everybody. And the Devils, they walk in, they beat the Bruins, man. Like the Bruins are like a wicked team. Like the Devils, I don't like betting against these guys. Like I'm telling you, man, them as a dog, they're a lethal team. They got a couple young guys. They picked up Gusev from the Vegas Golden Knights, a couple other guys on that team. Like I really like the Devils, and I think Blackwood's a really good goalie.
Man, 945 save percentage, Blackwood, he's unbelievable. That's why I don't bet against the Devils. I pick the unders in Devils games. Doesn't always work out. But Blackwood, he's obviously the Devils are not on the slate today. But he was 7K on DraftKings last night. 7K. I mean, the guy makes 30-plus saves every night. It doesn't matter about the win, guys. Like, when you see Blackwood at 7K, play him, because last year was unbelievable as well. I thought he should have won. Cale Makar should have won the Calder.
Yeah, but Blackwood's there.
Needed to be right there into the conversation. But he's not on the schedule today. We do have 4 games. Let's get into it. Chicago and Carolina. Really like this Hurricanes team. But the Blackhawks have been impressive too, Cam. Like they've been hanging around. We talked about them on Wednesday. They had an easier matchup. We were on them in the under against Detroit, but they're up at second place in the division. I know they played 18 games, but they're 9-5-4. They've hung around with a lot of good teams, including Carolina. I believe they had the split last week against them. Carolina minus 190 on the spread, on the money line, 6-8 against the spread. The Hawks 12-6 against the spread, plus 163 on the road, total 6. What do you think?
Who's that goalie? Is Lackinen?
Yeah.
This guy is on fire. I don't know where he came from, what he's doing. Like they don't have to worry about Delia and any of these other guys that used to slip in there. But here's the deal, Meaney. I watched that game against Florida. Carolina should have killed them. They had their third string goalie, and I don't even know the Russian's name. I can't pronounce it. You need 2 sweaters to put the stitching on. I'll tell you, I don't mind James Reimer. I've seen him in Toronto. I've seen him before. He was a Panther. He'll be all right. This is a get right spot for Carolina. I don't like to lay the juice. I'm going to tell you, I think Carolina beats Chicago tonight. I'm thinking 5-2, 5-3. I think they murder these guys. They're going to be in parlays for me. Puck line, money line, Carolina. I'm telling you, Meaney, I love the Carolina Hurricanes. I think they're one of the best teams in the league. And if they keep on losing and I get a better price for them, I'm going to smash them for like future bets because I think they're one of the better teams in the league. Everyone's talking about Tampa Bay and all these. Hey, Vegas, Colorado in the West, sure. I'm telling you, the Carolina Hurricanes are awesome. They should have beat Florida that last game. They kill Chicago tonight.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. They have 3 lines that can just roll, man. Like Jordan Stahl, I feel like, Matt, have we talked about Jordan Stahl every single episode here in the past 5?
The last 4 or 5 episodes, but he deserves it. So it's not like we're not doing it for any bad reason.
No, I mean, Monday we brought him up as a top 10 fantasy hockey player in season-long leagues, and then Wednesday we just threw him out there as a first goal. I don't think anybody took him serious. He was 17-1. He did it. He's just been scoring, but it's just the 3 lines, right? Aho, Teravainen, and Brock McGinn. Niederreiter, Trocheck, Natchez. And then Stahl, Svechnikov. Like, there's 3 lines. And then an underrated move to bring in Cedric Paquette, who was on the winning Stanley Cup
Lightning that guy.
This year. He just, he plays on the PK. He's a responsible player. He's your 4th line guy. The Hurricanes can roll with 4 lines. They own the puck. I think their only issue is in net. Whether it's Reimer, Nedeljkovic, Mrazek comes back. It's their hole that they have, and they need to figure it out because I still don't think they have the goaltending to get it done. But they're playing in these shootouts because they're scoring goals. What do you think about if you think the Hurricanes are going to score over I was looking at just their team total. It's minus 118 over 3.5. It's not great, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think they score 4 or 5 tonight.
Here's the thing. Chicago's actually been playing good hockey.
They
They're
have,
the they're the surprise of the league right now. No Taves, no Kirby Doc. Like I can't believe what these guys are doing. But let's remember, they've beaten up Detroit a lot. I'm gonna say this. Yes, I like it, Meaney. I think they score 4 or 5 tonight. So I would take Carolina Hurricanes over team total. I'll take them on in regulation, and I'll even take the minus 1.5 to like plus 135. I'm in.
Nice. All right, the shot props here. I mean, DeBrincat, excuse me, has been over 2.5 in 7 of his past 8 games. He had the game, as I mentioned, against Detroit where he had 0 shots, but he had 5 shot attempts, right? So he was still shooting the puck. Then he bounced back and had 6 shots on goal. He just plays so much, Cam. Like, they're really riding him and Kane. Like, he's played at least 20 minutes in every single game but one over his past 8, 23 in back-to-back games. I know Chicago has played to a couple overtimes, but you're right about Lankinen. And this guy enters with a 7-2-3 record, a 931 save percentage, and a 2.29 goals against average. He has been unreal. He's been great. But Hurricanes, I think the Hurricanes roll.
I do too.
I think, I'm a little hesitant to give the shot props because they roll all their lines, but I still like Svechnikov is my favorite Hurricane at 2.5. You can get him at minus 130. It's not bad. Check some other books. You can maybe get him in there. Trocheck sometimes has been plus money. He's still on that first power play unit. And again, if you want to take some shots on some of these guys, like maybe not just first time goals, Cam, but maybe just goals in general, right? Just anytime goals for some of these players because they're going to score probably a few.
Here's the thing. Lankinen could stand on his head. That's the only reason they're going to lose this game. Like if he plays an average game, Carolina's going to kill these guys. That game against Florida, they were up 2-0. I don't know what the hell happened. Huberdeau made like one of the best plays of the year. Oh, yeah. Hey, he's just like, see you later, guys. Deep goal. And that goaltender that Carolina had, we have to remember, he's a third stringer, right? So
exactly.
The Carolina Hurricanes, they're going to take care of business tonight. Coming off that loss, I got to give Chicago credit, but I think the Canes killed them, Meaney. Kill them!
Trocheck is my guy tonight.
I like that.
13-1 first time, plus 205 for anytime goal. But you can have some fun here. Like Teravainen is hot to 235 anytime goal. Got Jordan Stahl again. I don't know if he can score again.
You love Stahl.
265.
Stahl's your guy.
You know who loves Stahl more than me? Rod Brendamore. Like he just plays him. You got an offensive zone faceoff? Stahl. Defensive zone faceoff? Stahl. Oh, power play? You're on the first power play unit. Probably shouldn't be, but you're on it because you can win a draw. So Rod Brendamore likes some Jordan Stahl, and I've just noticed because I see his ice time, and it's through the roof. Okay, you mentioned Huberdeau. You mentioned the Panthers. Let's get to that game. Detroit at home, plus 150, 11-7 against the spread, minus 177 for the Panthers, 6-8 against the spread. The total here is 5.5. Florida, man, they're rolling right now.
I'm gonna blow your mind though. I watched that Chicago Detroit game. No team has worse puck luck than the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah.
Post. I'm just watching these guys going, are you kidding me? I needed them that night for a huge parlay. Even at plus 1.5, Chicago scored an empty netter. Would they beat them 2-0? I think it was 2-0. Yeah. But I'm telling you, they played well versus Florida this year. They beat them 4-1 on Super Bowl Sunday. They've also played them like very tough overtime games. Florida feeling good about themselves after that win against Carolina. I'm telling you, I think Detroit.
Upset alert.
Down boy. I don't know if I'm going to take them plus 1.5 in parlays or like in reg. I'm going to take a shot with the Red Wings. I'll probably regret it, Meaney, but it's one of those vibe plays, and I'm going to play it. Carolina, I like the game better, but I'm going to take a shot with the Red Wings. I think they've been snake bitten.
I don't hate it. And I think we said this on Wednesday too. They've outshot their opponents in 5 of 6. They're not allowing a lot. When you look deeper into their numbers, their 5-5 numbers, like they've allowed the 10th fewest shot attempts, 15th fewest shots, high danger chances. Like they're not giving up a ton. And just look at their games. They're all 2-0, 3-2, 4-2 is the biggest one. 3-2, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 3-2. Like they're hanging around in most games. I don't hate the call. Like I'm not going to lay the juice with the Panthers. I think maybe, the puck line for Detroit is an interesting call, Cam.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like If you like the Panthers, I'm just going to say one thing. I wouldn't advise laying the 1.5, even though it sounds real good and sweet. Maybe you put them in a round robin parlay with some other stuff. But the Detroit Red Wings make the card tonight. Like I actually think if they lose, I think they're going to lose a heartbreaker, Meaney, in like overtime or a shootout. I'm going to take them in regulation. I think it's going to be like a 2-2 game, and maybe they get it done. I'm on the Wings.
I like it. We've had. Are you a big over guy? I know Cam's a big over guy. I try to seek out overs. I did it.
I'm actually kind of an under guy.
Are you? Yeah. Sometimes. Okay. So, because there's one comment from Wednesday said, I love the show, watch it all the time. I've never seen you pick an under. I pick unders over at FTN sometimes. I try to seek the overs. I think it's a little bit easier in football to pick unders, under catches, under yards. In those matchups, you can exploit them a little bit. I'm looking at a potential under here, and it scares me with Patrick Hornqvist. He is 2.5 shots, but he's plus 130 under 2.5. Like Matty Best, jump in here. Would you take Hornqvist under 2.5 at plus 130? It's scary, isn't it?
Because Hornqvist could get you 2 in a matter of like 3 seconds because he just likes to park his butt in front of the net.
Exactly.
It's tough. That scares me. Whereas like I don't know. I agree with you completely. The under is a lot harder to seek out unless there's something blatant. Like if Matthews ever gets to 5.5. Then sure, I'll bag the under there. But anything that's 2.5, I think it's just easier to find the overs because in hockey, like I said, it's so easy to get 2 shots on goal in a matter of like a second and a half.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm looking at Bobby Ryan here. I actually did take an under before with Bobby Ryan, but it's 1.5. He just had a game where he had 6 shots. Before that, he was like 0 or 1 for like almost half a dozen games. So the unders are just, it is a little scary, guys. I agree with Matt. If you see your books starting to adjust, and they're happening, like I'm seeing FanDuel books, DK books, instead of 2.5, they're 3. Instead of 3.5, they're 4. So if you want to take an under on a big guy like that, I mean, Dylan Larkin. But again, most of the time when you see an under, it's juice. Like, do I want to pick the under on Larkin at minus 170? I don't.
No.
It's just, I'll just move on and
stay away. Stay away, Meaney.
The unders, it just maybe game totals. We'll say that. One thing I will say about Florida, I know that this is the first of a back-to-back, is Chris Driedger is expected
He's playing well.
Playing really well. He's 5-1-1, a 2.39 goals against average, and 9.24 save percentage. He's been playing better than Bobrovsky for a year and a half now.
Who's that other joker that they used to? I remember they used to roll out like Montembeault and who are these guys?
They
funny.
Haven't had a goalie in years, right?
See, that's the point. Like we had Mark Lawrence, professional handicapper on the show. He's got a Florida Panther season ticket holder, and he thinks it's going to be different this year for Florida. I told him, I like your positivity, but pump the brakes. Like it's a great start for these guys, but I think Florida's a good team, but I don't think they're better than Carolina. I don't think they're better than it's nice. They got some good players, but their goaltending will eventually let them down.
Yes, I would agree with that. Okay, next game on the board.
I'm all in, Meaney.
Alberta.
Calgary. In.
Edmonton, you're all in here? The Flames minus 125, Oilers plus 108, 8-7-1 for Calgary, 10-8 for Edmonton. And of course, it's a North Division battle, so the total is at 6.5.
I'm going to tell you, Meaney, I love Calgary tonight. Like, love. Edmonton played that last game against Winnipeg. They won. Calgary's coach called these guys out, so you guys are a bunch of turkeys. Like, you're going to show up in this game in the Battle of Alberta. It's very little juice. And I remember that last game they played, I think it was about a week or a week and a half ago. Edmonton was beating them. Calgary murdered them. They scored like 4 straight goals. It was like this Hockey Night in Canada doubleheader game. I think Calgary's going to get it done. And is Markstrom playing tonight?
I don't know. I mean,
if it's Big Save Dave, then I got a real problem with
it's been Markstrom. He's been, I agree, but he's been starting. What has he had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 starts in a row. This is the first of a back-to-back. Like these two teams play again, so it's possible that it could be quote unquote Big Save Dave. He has made too many of them.
No, it's opposite. It's no Save Dave, but I will still take Calgary in this spot. I think they're going to show up. I think the coach's message got out to these guys, and I think they. Edmonton's still a team. They win games, but whatever. Like
they played at such a wide open.
They burn money. Like even that game, Meaney versus the Jets. I needed them. Like I pounded Edmonton that game. They're up 2-0. I'm like, hey, everything's great. But, they just let teams linger and linger and linger, and then Draisaitl scored. I'm like, thank God. But it was like at the end, it got really, nerve-wracking. I'm going to take Calgary tonight. I think they're going to show up. They're going to avenge some things, and I think they're going to just explode on Edmonton tonight. I see Calgary winning this game. Like, I think they might get 4 or 5 tonight. I see like a 5-3 type of game for the Flames.
Write it down, boys and girls. This guy called a 7-3 game last night.
Yeah, well, I was also on the Sabres last night, and Buffalo makes me sick. I am done with that team. Like, they were in a big spot. All you had to do, like Washington feeling good. Buffalo, you lose 2 games to the Islanders, show up as a pooch. These guys are gutless. And I'm going to tell you something. Eichel's got a real problem. He's got 1 foot out the door already. He wants out of that off this team so quick. Buffalo's a train wreck.
He signed that massive contract. I thought he was going to be a guy that would just wait around a little bit, see how things play out, see how the Sabres, what guys they're going to bring in. And they've tried. They've missed on so many draft picks. Oh, man. Yeah, the Sabres are a mess.
Worst contract in the league. Skinner. Like, how much money is this guy making?
7+.
Are you kidding me? Think about this. Skinner makes 7+, and there's guys like Garland on the Coyotes who are making like $700K. What a joke!
Yeah,
like, are you kidding me? Sorry, Skinner. Party's over. Super Nintendo Chalmers is taking over. Skinner, you're fired.
Man, and I try to make excuses for him, Cam, like, oh, okay, they don't play him in the right situation. His first year in Buffalo, I think he flirted with 30. I tried to combine 30 and 40 there.
Yeah.
40 goals.
Yeah.
And he played with Eichel. And then earlier in the year and last year, he's playing the fourth line. I'm like, okay, well, why is this guy playing on the fourth line? Because he's not going to get anything done on the fourth line. He should play with Jack Eichel. And over the past week or so, they've experimented with that again. But yeah, I'm looking at the contract. This dude's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more years left on his deal. It's not good.
It's a nightmare.
It's an absolute nightmare. Yeah, it's one of the worst contracts going in the NHL. It's tough. I'm with you on Calgary. I like the Flames. I think they bounce back anytime you have those. And it happened too earlier in the year. They've had a lot of just closed door meetings or coaches calling out the team. It happened in Montreal before the Habs game. They had the closed door meeting. I was like, uh-oh. And they went into Montreal and they played a near perfect game. I think they had the 2-0 win. They had the shutout and led by Markstrom.
Yep.
And yeah, anytime you hear that, it's usually kind of go time. It happens more so in hockey than any other sport. I know some people may laugh at it, but
no, it's true.
When leaders or coaches call out certain players, you usually get their best effort the very next game. So Calgary has a little bit more of a complete game. I'm not sold on their offense, but they got a date here with the Oilers. I'm looking at their game log and the back of Markstrom's hockey card here, and he's not really getting the goal support. The Flames haven't scored more than 4 goals. They've done it once in their past 12 games, and it came against the Oilers. They put up 6 against Edmonton, so it's a good call by you. One more game to talk about, another Canadian tilt here.
Tough one.
You're on the fence here with this one. I'll start here. I like the Jets. I like the Jets going to Vancouver. And
I do too, but I'm going to tell you this, Meaney. All these guys laughed at me when I took Vancouver the last game against Calgary, and they murdered them. That was just like, you look at situations, like, are they that bad? Like, really, like that's the thing. I know they've been horrible defensively in their own end. They got a lot of problems, but I'm going to say this. I think Vancouver's going to pick it up. I like the Jets tonight, but watch out for those guys moving forward. I think they're starting to figure it out a little bit, but I think the Winnipeg Jets get it done. They lost to Edmonton. They come back. They show up. What do you think about the total in this game?
Yeah, 6.5. I think
seems high.
I probably stay away from it. It's Hellebuck, right? I have a lot of respect for him that sometimes he can allow a few, but you look at this Jets team overall, both of these teams, you know what? I'm going with the over. Both of these teams, before I came on here, I was just double checking again. And as good as Hellebuck is, it's like high danger chances, scoring chances, shots. Both these teams in the top 5, they allow a lot of rubber. So it could just be a track meet. I know I said it off the top that Vancouver has tightened up a little bit, and I agree with you. I don't think that they're this bad. people just rip their defense. They have players on defense that can play, right? Myers and Schmidt, and Hughes is still learning. He's a great offensive defenseman. He's still learning to play defense. I don't think Holtby is as bad as some of his numbers look, and he's been better lately. He was great against the Flames the other night. So, and Vancouver can score too, and they get into these track meets. So I kind of lean over, but honestly, it's not my favorite play. Just it's tough, man, to ask for 7 goals.
I agree. I'm looking at the plays tonight. I love Carolina. It's gonna be involved in every way, and I love Calgary. I'm gonna take a shot with Detroit, and also plus 1.5 low juice in a parlay. This other game, Winnipeg is my lean, but I don't really feel the totals tonight as much as I do the sides.
Yeah, same. The shot props, if you can find, I kind of skipped over some other ones, but I liked DeBrincat. I liked Svechnikov. McDavid's plus money at 3.5. I know it's high, but that's one that I can get behind. Kachuk, if you can find Kachuk, he's the one flame that I don't mind going back to. Brock Besser is hot as well. 2.5 for Brock. Kyle Connor's here, juiced up plus 143.5. I won't do it, but some books have Kyle Connor at 2.5, right around minus 170, 175. If you include that into a parlay, it looks a little bit better. And same thing with Nikolai Ehlers. He's usually sitting at 2.5 as well. Stastny's that setup man for those two guys. They're trigger guys. They love to shoot the puck. This game we could see a lot of goals. You know, you can try to take some anytime goals with Connor or Ehlers, or maybe Brock Besser or Bo Horvat, one of those guys as well. Scheifele's plus 195 for 2 points. That may be pushing it a little bit.
I think it is. Asking a guy to get 2 points, it's like, I hate to say it. I want like plus 250.
Agree. Yeah. And it's juiced up for one is juiced up, but maybe a power play point, right?
Yep.
Take a look at that. I think there'll be some goals. So if you're looking for some goals, I think that's the one right there. DFS on the way out of here. McDavid, Draisaitl, Scheifele, Barkov, Aho, Trocheck, Stahl, Lindholm, Pettersson. Those are the most expensive centers on the board tonight. I like this Winnipeg-Vancouver game. I just think there's going to be some goals there. We talked about Scheifele. His prices jumped up. He's $7K. I still like it. He was a value last week, still pretty solid there. If you're looking for some value and some underrated plays here, guys that just step up at the center position, Monahan is 4.9.
I like that.
Pretty quiet, Cam, but him and Goudreau, right? You look for the leaders to step up, don't you? When
exactly
the coach calls them out.
It's a good call by you, Meaney. And you know what? I love the price.
Yeah, the price is real nice.
Bargain bin.
Yeah. Over at wing, Patty Kane, DeBrincat up at the top. Real pricey for those guys. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Nikolai Ehlers, Johnny Gaudreau, Brock Besser, Kyle Connor, 6-1, Matthew Tkachuk, Hornquist. I'm just all in on this Winnipeg-Vancouver game. I'm probably going to avoid these Oiler guys out of respect for Markstrom and the Calgary defense. Yeah, I'm going to. It's scary. Anytime you avoid the Oilers, it's super scary. It's tough, but I like Carolina tonight. I think you can mix and match. You get Aho, Teravainen in there, or you can go with Svechnikov and Stahl, and all four of these guys play together on the power play. It correlates. You get Dougie Hamilton as we move over to defense. Hamilton up at the top 6'8", if you can afford it. Barry 6'2", Nurse 5'8", Giordano 5'7", Ekblad 5'5". Ekblad loves to shoot the puck. Quinn Hughes 5'4". Don't get it. I don't understand the price. Like him. Neil Pionk 5'2". Neil Pionk, we talked about him on Wednesday, I believe, best, and he scored a goal. Neil Pionk has 11 points in 16 games, and I feel like all of them have come over his past 10 games. He's super hot. Josh Morrissey as well, super hot. Goalie, what do you think of net tonight?
Here's the thing, Meaney. You want to hear something crazy? I like Markstrom played like junk against Vancouver. It's probably his worst game of the year. I'd expect him to bounce back, but you're like, oh my God, like I'm going against Edmonton. Well, that could be crazy. But what about this? Something really insane. The Greiss is nice. Ooh. How about Thomas Greiss of the Red Wings in an upset? Like that guy will be the least, probably the lowest percentage goalie owned, don't you think?
I do think, and do you know what? He's 6'9". Man, picking goalies, it's voodoo. Like, good goalies can have bad games and ruin your night. Why not just spend down at 6'9" for a goalie like Greiss? Price is nice.
I
and then
agree.
you have an average of 5.38 to spend and do some things with. You can get involved with some of these top guys. You can take a couple studs from Carolina. You can really just jam in that Winnipeg and Vancouver game, and away you go. I like Connor. I like Ehlers. I like Besser. I like these guys that are shooters. Those are all the shooters in that game. JT Miller is a bit of a pass first guy. His shot prop's always at 1.5. Sometimes I think about taking it, and then I see him sometimes get 0 shots.
Exactly,
like even on the power play, it's like Brock and him just play pitch and catch. It's almost like Wheelers and Scheifele, and then they look in the slot for Bo Horvat. They look across the ice for Kyle Connors. All right, that's going to do it. Should we recap? Matt, you got some stuff for us? I think Wednesday was.
I do. Yeah, Wednesday wasn't the best. What do you
got?
Strong, I felt like.
What do you got, best?
Carolina.
Yeah,
you better bring your best into the weekend, there, Matty. Let's go. It's Friday.
There's only a few people that I accept last name puns for. Cam, you are one of them.
Yeah, it was a horrible joke, but yeah, I'm just like. But you know what? You and Meaney, you guys are both got this goal prop thing down. You're not just a league of. Like, are you still playing like League of Legends and that stuff there, Matty,
yeah,
or what?
The books are
done?
Still completely wrong on League. I mean, it would be like the equivalent of what they're doing is basically it would be putting the Red Wings as favorites tonight.
Favorites?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it's crazy what they're doing. Like there's a thing in League of Legends called kill spread, and the kill spread will be, for example, 8 or 9 kills different from one team to another, where on the whole season, the team that is the underdog on that will have more kills than the favorite team. So there's free money to be had over there. So yeah, if you stay tuned to the Mayo Media Networks on Saturday nights, you'll get my best bet show, and I usually sprinkle in some League of Legends in there. Anyways,
nice.
We've got a recap for you here. Meaney, you went 2 for 6. Your total
2 for 6? Come on.
Yeah. Hurricanes, you missed. Calgary,
sounds
you missed.
like a lie.
Chicago, you got. Winnipeg, you missed. You got the under on Chicago, Detroit right, and the Jets, Oilers, you got wrong. Those are the picks that you gave to us at the end of the show, but throughout the show, you were nailing other ones. You had some first goal props in there as well. But I just recapped the ending. Not everything else.
No, that's cool. Yeah, we say a lot on this show.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. Yeah. I know Cam was talking to me at the top. It's like, Cam, did you watch Wednesday's show? I think, honestly,
I got to tell you, Matt, though, if Meaney says something in the middle of the show, who cares if it's front, middle, or back? If he hits it, you got to give him. The plus money. You're my guy, Meaney.
No, I try to give him stuff, but Meaney always tells me, he's like, nope, don't give me that. Don't give me that. He's too humble.
Because he's a very humble, honest fella. Yeah. I will say this though, Matt. Now you give your picks, and I got another one for the Lake Tahoe games.
Ooh, man. What a setting! It looks awesome. It's like mystery.
That should be a
you just want to take your wife out to the woods in a canoe, get naked and like have a nice picnic. It is absolutely beautiful. Like that's the best outdoor game ever.
Oh yeah, and I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I think Matt, the day it started off decent. It was like Carolina in the over, and then they blew that lead, and then Chicago in the under, and then after that it was just like wrong. Just one of those days, right? We had somebody sign up at FTN. They must have just saw that first day pick. They're done. See you later.
Bye bye. Yeah, that's their loss. Don't worry, you're going to be on a heater after that. See, that's the thing, Meaney. That's gambling 101.
Yes,
you have a bad day, you don't quit. You ride it out for a while. If you had like 14 bad days, then we're like, hey, Meaney, we need to talk about the future. But one bad game, you can't be quitting. I'm not down with that.
Come join us over at FTN, promo code Meaney. We'll have some fun over there in the Discord chat. We like going back to things as a group. For me, I like Carolina, the puck line. I like Calgary, Winnipeg. I think we're on the same page here, Cam, for the most part. I won't get involved with the Wings, but I like the call there. 6.5 the total. Winnipeg, it does seem high, but I'm all in tonight. I just feel like there's going to be some goals in that Jets and Canucks game. What do you think?
I like your picks. I honestly, I think you should ride the Wings with me because when you're on the same page as me, things go well. Let's talk about Lake Tahoe. There's a game. It's Flyers Bruins. We already know 7 Flyers are out for that game. I gotta believe by the time they post that number, it's going to be a outdoor game. They always put unders 5 or 5.5. Let's remember setting, ice, glare. If that you check the pregame show, if that sun is beating down on that rink, these goalies are screwed. They can put all the football stuff, the black under their eyes and all that stuff. You play, Meaney, you played hockey. You're a very good hockey player. You play outdoor, You know how crazy that stuff is. The glare, the things are different. It's not like a game under regular lights. I got to believe over. And I know with the Philadelphia-Boston game, I'm going over in that game. Colorado and Vegas, oh, God, what a game. When these teams get together, it's like porn. I don't know what else to say. It's like a beautiful steak. These teams are just so damn good. Like, see the speed they play at? I got to tell you that one, I leaned to Vegas, but I'm telling you that game on Sunday, Flyers, Bruins, I'm taking the over.
Yeah, I leaned to Vegas as well. I watched both of those games they played last week.
Yep.
Man, it was fun. It's a grind. They both went under the number. I leaned to Vegas too. It's different watching, say, Winnipeg and Vancouver and Vegas and Colorado. Yes. It's just it's like feels like they're just playing a different sport there. There's just so many good players. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great setting. Cam, you're a beauty, man. Thanks for all the kind words up at the top of the show.
I apologize, Meaney. I've worked like 80 hours this week and I'm hungover, but I'm doing my best.
Tell people when they can check out you and Blessing.
Oh yeah, me and Blessing, Saturday night, midnight, and we're gonna go live this week. Usually we tape, but we're not screwing around because of the Tahoe games. Sirius Channel 204, midnight. We're going to go live, talk about all the Saturday action, replay at 7 o'clock in the morning. Me and Gabe Morency, Game Time Decisions and In-Game Live, also on Sirius, 6 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. So, Meaney, tune in. Hopefully we hit some winners. The sport that I'm really making money in is tennis. That's my new bag.
Ooh, tennis.
Yeah, a lot of good underdogs in tennis. Real good.
There are a lot of good underdogs in tennis. I agree.
Big time. Plus 400s and stuff.
Plus 400s is what we want. So check out Cam Stewart for sure. Always a pleasure. And Matty Best for all the phenomenal work. And check out his best bets on Saturday. Good luck out there. Over on Connor. Over on Huberdeau. We'll catch you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Cheers.